There it is. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to BrickCityBlockade.com podcast networks. Make the jump here with your host, Robin Vogt. That's right, we're live on Facebook right now. You'll be hearing this audio after the fact. But on this episode tonight, of course, I have my good friend, Mr. Andrew Gerrish, the host of Words of the Wills podcast. Andrew, how's it going tonight, buddy?
It's going pretty good. Words of the Wills is kind of like Brick City Blockade at the moment, just kind of dead right now.
It's true.
I've been getting my YouTube back up and running, which
Right.
last week I hit 100 subscribers. So
Congrats,
there's
man.
that.
Congrats.
Thank you. I never thought I would hit 100 subscribers. It is a big thanks to Durant Cinema, who I've done a
He's
few
great.
videos with and whatnot. Um, and of course, Brick City has helped me grow my channel as well.
Wonderful.
So thank you, you beautiful man.
Oh, thank you. You beautiful man. I mean, listen, that's such a big deal. I mean, Brick City Blockade is at 53 subscribers, and we barely put anything out. So sometimes I'm kind of like, all right, is there a way that I can get some of these subscribers just to go over and then follow Andrew's YouTube channel? And I've been doing that slowly but surely, messaging our subscribers and saying, check out some of these other things that we're associated with. So I have to give you credit, man. You started, and I'm saying this as somebody who has worked alongside you here now in the podcasting world. I mean, you've grown so much. Your YouTube channel is expanding every time I look at it. And Durant sent him a big shout out to him. He has been doing some wonderful, wonderful things there as well. So, I got to ask you, because it's been a while since I've had you on, when did you decide that you wanted to start Commander Nerd? When was that moment for you?
Probably around 2014.
Yeah.
I've just always had the idea to start a channel.
Yeah.
Didn't exactly know where to start it or what to base it on, so I just based it on random things that I was thinking about at the time. And it wasn't until I did the Steelbook hunt with Durant Cinema where I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, this is where I could gain a lot of followers, because the Steelbooks are very cool to collect. A lot of people are
Sure.
collecting them now. And it's still going to be the same format as I have been doing the past 5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
But it's going to be a little bit more professional in a way, because I never
Sure.
edited or anything like that. When I'm starting to edit and stuff like that,
Nice.
just doing a lot more with it. I'll still do like my Ultra Saber reviews, which I posted last week,
Yeah, I saw those.
and so on. Anything that still comes to mind, I'm gonna put out there, but it'll be a better product than I used to do before.
Right. Right. And that's where it comes to, is I have to say, just with your channel alone, I mean, you just started talking about general things, just like Brick City Blockade. You know, before Sean and I talked Star Wars, we just talked general things in our conversations, and then it branched out into various things, and then focused itself into Star Wars. And much like yourself, you started off really focusing on various things, and you still do to a certain extent. But really, I have to say, the one little niche thing that you've really been able to hook into is the collection of Blu-rays and the steelbooks and everything. And I feel like that is your little area where a lot of people have come to your channel for,
Yeah.
is what style steelbook is out there, what's hot right now, what are things that you're picking up, and then of course the work that you're doing with Durant Cinema, and showing people that it's not just him in this. There's a community of people
Yeah.
who do this, and that's amazing that you've been able to expand into that. And he lives locally, close to you. Am I not wrong in
Yeah,
saying that? Or
what's funny is he actually lives in the next town over from me.
that's crazy.
So it's like, it's such a small world, and he's about to hit 9K on his channel and stuff like
Wow.
that. So it's really cool to have a local YouTuber who's
Sure.
doing all these steelbook hunts and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I he's the way he is in his videos
Mm-hmm.
is his exact same personality. There's
Oh, that's
no
awesome.
on-screen persona or anything like that. It's
Sure.
just him kind of dialed up a little bit more, but it's still his real personality.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
And
great.
his voice impressions are very good too.
Oh boy, I might have to get in on that with the
his
voice
Arnold
impressions.
his Arnold Schwarzenegger is spot on.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh boy. If listen, I owe you a trip to come down
You've
to your
owed
neck
me
of the
a
woods.
you've
I
owed me a trip down here. How long has he owed me a trip down here? It's my birthday. Since September? So what should we do if he doesn't come down by September? Should we just say, hey, you owe me?
$500.
Sure.
The minute I throw money out there, it's like, sure, whatever.
No, I know you're a busy guy. It's no
No, but
issue on
listen,
that.
listen. Now knowing that Duran Cinema has fantastic voice impressions, I think he and I need to have a voice impression off, and then
That
that
would
has
be
to go on a
cool.
channel and do a cross promotion, all three channels, and just blow the internet apart through that. I mean,
That would be pretty cool. Because every so often he does like a scavenger hunt,
oh really?
and like he'll have his Twitter followers like tell him like what he has to pick up and
Oh,
stuff like that.
that's
So
so cool.
like say one is like you have to buy the Michael Bay Transformers or something like that.
Right.
Like he would have to buy it or like miss out on a point on that specific round or
Ooh,
something like that.
wow, that's cool. That's different. Now, do you know if he's going to be attending Fan Expo Boston this year?
Uh no, he doesn't really do convention stuff.
Interesting.
Um
Okay.
um well, he's never really gotten around to it. That's pretty much
Sure. Yeah.
on that. Because it is pretty expensive to go to
It,
conventions.
it is. It really is. It's a commitment of time. It's a commitment definitely into money.
Yeah.
And listen, it's always that conversation of, do I pay for gas for myself to get to work this next week, or do I
Yeah.
go down and I meet some of the best voice actors and celebrities out there? I mean,
Exactly.
that's the reality check you go through. So I can totally understand that. So I'm gonna make my way down. We're gonna do some voice off work, and we'll get some cross promotion going when
Yeah.
it comes to.
Because I need to take you on a Blu-ray / steelbook hunt.
Yes,
That would be a
yes.
lot of fun.
I need some, man. I need some.
Well,
I got.
I still have the classic monster movies
I
sitting here
know.
waiting for you.
See, I got things sitting there waiting that I just gotta. I
You
just
have a
gotta.
lot of stuff waiting for you, and you haven't come down yet.
It's like layaway at Christmas down there.
You have the Return of the Jedi Darth Vader, I think.
I think, or Renee took it. Either one.
Either way, you have a lot of stuff waiting for you.
Then I will find my way down there ASAP so that I can go and I can grab that stuff.
Well, I
100%.
appreciate it.
So listen, we talked about your channel and everything. We got to start getting into some of the Star Wars
Yeah.
talk. A lot of people have been waiting for this for quite some time. Our perspective, listen, we've been away from Star Wars news. It's been a siesta here at Brick City Blockade because we've all been very busy. There are a lot of changes at the network, and there are a lot of things that we're getting excited for. I mean, we have a brand new film coming out this December, The Rise of Skywalker, and with that comes a lot of Star Wars news. And recently, Andrew, we saw this big headline coming towards San Diego Comic-Con, something about this exclusive Sith trooper that's going to be
Yeah.
in The Rise of Skywalker. Your thoughts on it before I go on some kind of crazy rant?
Well, Sith Trooper, it's not going to be Kylo Ren's troopers.
Right.
He specifically said, let the Jedi and Sith die. We know our boy Palpatine is coming
Our
back
boy Palp. Yeah.
in some form, regardless.
Mm.
He is coming back. It's easily going to be his troopers because he's always had different guards in a way.
Right.
Like he's had the Coruscant trooper guards.
Oh yeah, the blue guards. Yeah.
No, not the blue ones. The
Not
ones
the
that
blue
were
ones?
like white and the red.
Oh yes, those ones. Yes. Yes.
Then he changed to the Royal Guards with
Mhm.
all red. And the Sith Troopers just make sense because obviously he's the ultimate Sith Lord. Um, the design of him is really cool. Kind of has a clone trooper look to it,
Sure.
I think. Um, I saw a few things of people adding like a cape to it, and that adds even more.
Yeah.
I don't know if the cape's going to be a thing.
Right.
as long as it's not a certain Phasma from 8 and
Exactly.
7, I'll be
Exactly.
happy. I don't think Phasma is going to be showing up.
No.
Um, she's had her chance in 2 movies to do something cool. Yeah, she had a cool fight with Finn, but she didn't do anything for 2 movies.
Sure. Sure.
And this is not going to go into a rant or anything. Just she didn't do anything. If you think she's cool, awesome. I don't. Me personally, she's not so much overrated.
She's an underutilized character. You bring Gwendolyn
Mm,
Christie in to fill
yeah.
in a role, and you give her that. I think even she is kind of like, okay, this is not what I signed on for.
Mhm. Um, because I don't know, people are gonna compare it to Boba Fett. It's like, well, me personally, Boba Fett for me personally is a little overrated, but
Sure. Sure.
um,
Huh. That's interesting. That's a really interesting take. I mean, I agree with you 100%, Andrew. I think that they are associated with Palpatine. And listen, I think in many ways, and I'm going out on a limb here, I'm thinking that if these Sith troopers are associated with the rise of Palpatine once again, whether they run into these Sith troopers on the remains of the Death Star and they're guarding it, or whether they're going to run into them on that forest planet that we've seen already in trailers where Kylo Ren is taking out what looks to be some kind of trooper in some way.
mhm,
That's where my mind goes to, is if these Sith troopers are associated with Palpatine, then I put the percentage of Kylo Ren and Rey maybe battling it out and then deciding to team up against Palpatine at a
yeah,
pretty high rate at that point, because how cool would it be to see the light and the dark fighting against the Sith, the one
exactly,
thing that both sides cannot stand at this moment?
yeah, because we got a glimpse of it in Last Jedi
Mhm.
where Rey and Kylo teamed up. Now, Daisy Ridley says that her and Kylo Ren are supposedly having like one of the most epic lightsaber fights in any of the films.
They didn't say against each other though.
True, that's true. If they have a fight against Palpatine, that will be awesome.
Yeah.
Um, I still like my idea about all a battle just between all the Force Ghosts,
Yeah.
all light side Force Ghosts and all dark side Force Ghosts.
That would be cool. That would be
Although
extremely cool.
technically Dooku wouldn't be able to show up because have you listened to the Dooku book at all?
I have not had a chance to get to it yet. I'm still working through Master and Apprentice at the moment, but
So Dooku wasn't fully on board with being a Sith.
right.
He only did it because he didn't agree with the views of the Jedi at the time, because
Mhm.
they refused to help Dooku's home world
Oh,
when it
that's
was
right.
attacked, and because Dooku's home world stopped like paying, trying to get political, they stopped paying taxes to the Republic.
Right,
So the
right,
Republic's like, we're not coming to help you. Dooku's like, well, it's my home world. I have to go and save it.
right.
And it was after he saved his home world where he left the Jedi Order.
Mhm,
He
mhm.
talked to Yoda. He's like, "I'm done," and he was gonna turn in his lightsaber, and
Right.
Yoda's like, "You can keep it." So
Hmm,
the
interesting.
lightsaber in Attack of the Clones and everything like that is his Jedi lightsaber.
Fascinating. Huh. So there's a deeper connection that goes even beyond that.
Oh, and
So,
his transformation to the dark side, I'd say, is probably the most evil transition to the dark side.
wow, that is cool. I mean, no spoilers for the book. It's my
I
next read.
want to tell you it, but I'll let you um find out on your own.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, it's next on my Google Play Books list for audiobooks. So I'm looking forward to digging into it. But hearing what you're saying so far, and then that connection to what we might see in the Rise of Skywalker. I mean, number one, the Force Ghost connection, and having them battle out like basically just in front of an audience in a movie theater would be absolutely stunning. I mean, especially with J.J. Abrams. So if you're gonna have anybody do it,
Yeah,
it might as well be the guy who brought the magic with Force Awakens.
exactly. But it's
So
just a new hope.
you know what? And that's the funny thing about that. That's the more that I watch it, the more I do see what they're talking about. But Force Awakens had to do that.
Yeah.
It was introducing the next generation to Star Wars, is what it was doing. So it had to use similar tones. The Last Jedi had somewhat similar tones to Empire Strikes Back at times. You have to do that. And it drives me nuts when people are like, it's copycat at times. It's this, it's that. It's like, well, listen, all right? If you stand behind the camera there and you're told by Disney, listen, don't get too off track by this, all right?
Yeah.
Keep it true to what the story has told us in the past, but tell a new story in the process. That's all they're ever asking from their directors, is give us Star Wars, give us a tone that everybody's familiar with. And if you want to repeat some of the similar tones that we saw in the original trilogy, or even in the prequels, which I think from what J.J. Abrams has been saying about the Rise of Skywalker, it's all going to come together.
Yeah.
So just from the pictures that I've seen from the Vanity Fair article and from things online and things from San Diego Comic-Con, the things that I'm seeing so far tell me that J.J. Abrams almost wants to have somewhat of a prequel feel to the Rise of Skywalker, which has me pumped. But I don't know how you feel about that, Andrew. Tell the good people.
You don't know how I feel about the prequels or it having a prequel
the idea that J.J. Abrams may take those prequel-like themes and bring them to the Rise of Skywalker.
Well, I back the prequels, so it's a 2 thumbs up for me.
See, and there's not many people that would say that, though.
Nope.
Not many people would.
Even just from the teaser, I can kind of see where the prequel elements will come in.
Yeah.
Like Rey doing the Jedi flip. That's more something from the prequels.
Yeah.
We don't really see a lot of that in the original trilogy, except for Carbon Freezing Pit.
Yeah.
And then he kind of does a flip in Return of the Jedi.
That's what drives me crazy, too, is like, listen, the Rey flip is wonderful. Don't get me wrong. It's like in baseball. Sports people will know what I'm talking about. That's right. I'm talking to you, James, over at Rebel Scum Podcast. You know, Jose Bautista's bat flip up in Toronto. But listen, Rey's flip over Kylo Ren's TIE fighter there. The first time, and I keep saying this every time I see this trailer, Andrew, is what about the moment when Darth Maul flipped off of his speeder towards Qui-Gon?
Exactly.
And Anakin, drop! What he did the same exact kind of flip over Qui-Gon Jinn. So the minute I see that clip, I'm like, boom, Phantom Menace right there, prequel-like tone.
Exactly. Just confirms that Rey is Darth Maul's kid.
A White Walker and Darth Maul.
I can see it.
Man, I don't know where Darth Maul got the. I mean, I guess under all that paint. I mean,
I mean, he could probably be kind of sweet. You never know. You could just be. You could put the anger on like a facade or something like that, but behind closed doors, he's very sweet. He'll cuddle you. He'll let you be the big spoon, or he'll be the big spoon.
Every time I hear Darth Maul scream, Kenobi! Every time I hear that, I hear an absolute beautiful flower. Every time.
Exactly.
Every time.
He just wants to cuddle Kenobi.
We'll see if Sam Witwer and Ray Park agree with you on that one.
They probably don't.
I think Sam Witwer would be like, "Who is saying that about me?" Ray Park is like, "Just hand me a saber at a convention, and I'll just show you what I got."
Yeah.
You know,
Which he still has it.
He does. He's got the magic, man. I'm still waiting. I know this is going off track for a second, but that's what we do here on Make the Jump,
exactly.
Or on Words of the Whales, no matter what show it is.
It's both.
He still got it. Now, when we go back to Solo and we go back to him reprising the role of Darth Maul in that scene and Sam Witwer doing the voice, I look at that and I'm like, Lucasfilm, you're giving me Cassian Andor, you're giving me Mandalorian, you're giving me this. Where is the Maul and Kira series? Amelia Clark is available to do things now.
Well,
Where is it?
technically, it's just a rumor that Solo 2, which is kind of a movement right
Oh, make
now,
Solo 2 again, or make Solo 2, yeah.
might be a series on the streaming service,
Well, that'd be fascinating.
which would be a cool idea because they'd be able to flesh out more stories.
See if it
If they
happens, but
do
yeah.
do it, make Dave Filoni the director
Oh, yeah.
or producer of it because he's kind of busy with Mandalorian at the moment too.
I know, and that's where the next conversation goes here, Andrew,
Yeah.
and that's into the Mandalorian. Here I'd make the jump, and listen, I am super excited for the series. And the funny thing is too is like they're talking about it, and I said this even before. I think I might have even did a post on Twitter not that long ago, and I said, "Where is the Mandalorian stuff?" And I said it to Scott Inch the other night. Where's the Mandalorian stuff? Where's teasers? Where's this? Where's that? And guess what? Disney Lucasfilm answers with, "Hey, guess what? At D23, you're going to get all your Mandalorian stuff." So there's our answer to that.
Yeah.
But what is the one thing for you, Andrew, that you are really looking forward to with the Mandalorian? What was the one thing?
I just want to see one, obviously a good story within the universe,
Right.
but the most I want to see is how chaotic the galaxy is without someone with like a empire or republic,
Right. Right.
where it's lawless at the moment. And John Favreau did talk about that. Like the empire is gone. It's
Yeah.
pretty much everyone's at each other's throats at this
Crazy.
point. He didn't specify how many years after Return of the Jedi it is.
I believe they had said at the panel at Star Wars Celebration this year that it was 4 years after the events of
So
Return of the Jedi.
it's pretty fresh. And you could see legacy characters show up
You could.
as like cameos because you could, at most, it would be Luke because he's searching for teens. Trying to think, not hideouts, but places where Palpatine would put like
Jedi
certain
relics and stuff.
yeah,
Yeah.
because in Battlefront 2, that's where you find the
Oh,
compass.
that's right. That's
Um,
right. Yes, with Inferno Squad. Yeah.
yeah.
And
So
that's yeah. Huh. I mean,
observatory, that's what it is.
yeah, no, that's perfect. I mean, it's interesting. Would you see Sebastian Stan coming in to play Luke at that point?
You can easily play Luke Skywalker. He looks exactly like Mark Hamill.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think with John Favreau and Dave Filoni and the entire team, you don't even have to necessarily have him on screen for very long.
Yeah,
It could be where one scene where the Mandalorian just runs into him on
yeah,
a mission and just is like, or runs into him on a bounty or something, and
yeah,
and Luke gets there before he does.
yeah,
Somebody is looking for a relic, and guess who he runs into in a cave on some planet or on
exactly.
Batu or something? He runs into Luke. So yeah, I see where you're going on that. That'd be really cool. Um, I think the one thing, and I love the time period, like you said,
Mhm.
it's lawless. There's no order in the galaxy at this time, and I think the one thing that really, and I know a lot of people felt weird about it after they saw the leaked trailer for The Mandalorian and some of the clips that we got from Star Wars Celebration this past year or this year, and it's the way that it is being filmed. It
Mhm.
doesn't feel like an average Star Wars movie. In many ways, it feels like a fan film,
It
which
does.
which is cool because guess what? I feel like as a Star Wars fan, I watch all the fan films. I mean, Mark Alex Vogt did a wonderful job with his Rogue One spinoff, and I had him on to talk about it. And it's funny because when John Favreau talks about working on the Mandalorian, I feel like some of the stuff he talks about is like what Mark Alex Vogt talked to me about,
Yeah,
which is changing the tone of the Star Wars universe, but still keeping it fresh to the Star Wars fan so that it's
yeah,
relatable. And there's so many different scenes. I mean, going back to practical effects, the way that they showed the Mandalorian ship, and they
Mhm.
actually used like models, and they used camera angles in a studio to show it. And I feel like that's the one thing that I'm going to like about this series. Maybe not the characters, maybe not the storyline. I'm going to like the magic of that original trilogy
Yeah,
films of the original films that we're going to get in this streaming service series.
agreed. The other big thing though is the music has to be done right too.
Let's talk about that. Let's talk about that because I'm going to be talking with Sean on the next episode of the podcast. He's our music guy at the network, and I know you and him. You're the two I go to when it comes to Star Wars music because you guys listen to it all the time. And for you, what kind of tone do you want to see with the Mandalorian? Do you want to have almost like a old Republic feel, like or do you want something that feels more like what we had in Solo? What do you think is the right tone for the Mandalorian?
Mixture of both could work well. Solo worked perfect because it felt more like a Western kind of
Mm-hmm.
feel to the music, but also had familiar like cues from the Star Wars music.
Right.
Um, Old Republic can be a little tricky for something post Return of the Jedi. Um, if anything, Old Republic style music, wait for their Old
Right.
Republic movie.
Right.
Um, which, despite what everyone says about the end of Game of Thrones or whatever, I'm excited for the directors that are doing the Old Republic
Oh yeah, Benioff and Weiss. Yeah.
because they're familiar with doing like old medieval kind of stuff. So,
Sure.
um,
That's a good point.
but yeah, I'd see more of a solo style to the soundtrack and maybe a little bit of like Rogue One or something like that.
Yeah. I agree with you. The other thing that I thought about too, and it just popped in my head randomly. I can't remember where I was. I think I was at one of the local comic book stores here. Maybe it was Jetpack Comics up in Rochester, New Hampshire. And I was walking around and they had classic N64 games there. And there was one that I stumbled across and really threw me back. And as I was kind of pondering on it on the way home, because I knew we'd be talking about the Mandalorian at some point here. And I thought in my head, how cool would it be if the Mandalorian and Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni, being the masters they are of going back into the Star Wars archives, use some of the music from Shadows of the Empire and some of
That,
Dash Rendar's themes inside of the Mandalorian. Like I'm thinking about just the waiting screen when you first start the game. The tones and the music that they used would be so cool and would be so fitting with this series.
yeah, that would definitely fit. Um, Even Dark Forces
Oh yes.
music would fit as well. Obviously, you would have to upgrade it from the 8-bit music, but
Maybe,
uh,
maybe not. I don't know.
well, true. The music is still pretty good for that. Yeah, now that you said Shadows of the Empire, that would definitely work well.
Because that's how this
Um,
series feels to me. I feel like I'm playing Shadows of the Empire when I watch that trailer sometimes. I feel like I'm Dash Rendar. Like the Mandalorian takes on so many different personalities, but
mhm.
he feels like a smuggler in a Mando outfit. And he feels like Dash Rendar in many ways to me. I know many people think that that's a taboo name to say in the Star Wars universe with all the recent smugglers we've been talking about, but I still love that game. And there are so many ways that it throws me back.
It's a
Throws me
love
back.
hate relationship with that game for me because I could never get past IG-88.
And hey, where is it's not IG-88 in the television series, but are we going to see the Mando fight against that IG unit in the series?
I heard it was confirmed to be IG-88.
Where did you hear that? I'm curious.
I think Jon Favreau talked about it at Celebration or
Did
something
he?
like that, and a lot of people have been saying it's going to be IG-88.
Boy, how cool would that be?
That would be really cool
And
because
it'd be just like Shadows of the Empire.
you never really see anything from IG-88,
No, you don't.
um, except for that one scene in Empire Strikes Back.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't even think you get anything with IG-88 in the Clone Wars.
No, not really. Not really. And the
Because
only time we got Bosk was like in one part in Rebels, like a couple parts in Rebels, and then we got him in the Lego Freemaker Adventures. So
he wasn't in Rebels.
No, who was it then that we saw?
I forget who it was, but it was the guy that Warwick Davis voiced. I know who it is you're thinking of.
Yeah, because
Um,
he reminds me a lot of
Bosk was
Bosk.
in the Clone Wars with Boba Fett.
That's who it was. Okay, that's what it was. Because I
You get
recently
you,
watched the
you
Clone
get
Wars
an A for effort.
again. An A for effort. I get an E for effort.
A E. Do you
I owe
want
you.
do you want to fail this course, Mr. Vote?
No, I don't want to fail a course. I already graduated college here. I don't need to go back to college for this stuff. No, not at all. Not at all.
I hope that doesn't come out on the recording. No, I'm not talking about what we're talking about, but
What the comments were on the other side of
yeah.
the room over there. Oh yeah,
Did you
there'll
hear
be
what
some editing.
did you hear what she said?
I'll go back and I'll listen to it when I do some audio editing, and I'm gonna clip it out. I'm gonna send it to you, and I'm gonna say, "Look what I found." But anyway, listen, we got some Mandalorian talking. Renee, quiet. Listen,
Quiet.
we got we got some Mando talk in there. Now listen, the one thing that I'm super excited about, and I'm getting back into looking at pop culture news again. You know, with the political stuff happening, it's been hard to follow along because we have so much ridiculousness happening in Washington. I'll say it here on the podcast. And it's been hard to really follow along with what else has been
Yeah.
going on in this world. But finally, hashtag SDCC has been trending before everything else happening in Washington. And I'm loving everything that I'm seeing between the Sith Trooper. I know Scott Inch just shared out with me some of the recent Entertainment Weekly magazine covers that showed Supergirl, the Arrow's new outfit, Batgirl.
Wait, Arrow, I thought this was his last season.
This is, and he has a brand new outfit for the last
Is
season.
it like classic Oliver Queen?
It's interesting. I don't know. Scott Inch can probably send it to you. Actually, no, what I'll do, I'll forward it to you. I'll forward the link over so
I
you
did
can look
see
at
the
it.
Supergirl outfit, and I
like it too. I'm a big fan of it. So, Andrew, for you, with all this stuff happening in San Diego Comic-Con, listen, I'm also seeing the stuff about it as well, which I think is great, and I can't wait to see what that trailer looks like.
it's got to be amazing.
It's got to be amazing. What's the one thing that you're super excited about with San Diego Comic-Con this year?
Oh, there's a lot of stuff.
I know there's a lot.
Jay and Silent Bob reboot.
Yes, thank you. Stanley's getting a cameo.
That, and we're getting a trailer for it.
And a trailer, I know.
I am looking forward to the Marvel panel. I do want to know where the MCU is going in phase 4.
Got a lot to go.
Have you seen Far From Home?
I have finally seen it.
Because
it asks a lot of questions.
It's been out, what, 3 weeks now?
About 3 weeks, yep.
So I think I have an idea where they're going with phase
Okay,
4.
so I'm just gonna do this right now. Spoilers for anybody who hasn't seen Far From Home yet. Right now, here comes the beep. Beep. Okay, Andrew, you can share it now.
I think they're doing Secret Invasion.
Do you really?
Why else would they show the Skrulls?
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Also, how about the credit scene?
What's that? Your audio broke out there for a second.
How about the first post-credit scene?
Jesus Christ. Let me say this, all right? For there to be multiple post-credit scenes to begin with is like, whoa. The one individual that I'm super happy about personally, and I think a lot of people are kind of on the fence from what I've talked about, is Mysterio.
Really?
Yeah, I've heard a lot of people. I liked him. I did.
I thought he. Okay, so I think the people that have issues with Mysterio are ones that never read comic books.
Thank you.
Me, Mysterio was 100% like his comic book counterpart.
Yes.
He had the fishbowl helmet.
Yep, fishbowl helmet.
He had his illusion stuff. It wasn't magic, but it was still illusion stuff.
Yep.
And I think Jake Gyllenhaal played him perfect. Personally, I don't think he's dead.
No, I don't think so either.
Even if he is, they can always have somebody else be Mysterio.
Of course.
I'm pretty sure that happened in the comics. Like somebody else became Mysterio.
Yes, there was a transition. Yeah.
But what do you think of the original Triple J returning?
Wow. You want to talk about throwback? I mean, geez, I'm crow. Um, I was in my seat and I was pretty quiet. I was pretty quiet. Um, the one person I think you have to ask that to, because you're going to get one of the best reactions from, is Mr. Scottish. You're going to get the Scottish reaction
Oh, okay.
if you ask him what you thought about Triple J. I can only imagine what Scott's going to say. But yeah, you know what? I'll say this overall. I was very pleased with the film. I really was. And as a Spider-Man fan, deep down inside, the film did what it needed to do
Yeah.
for me as a Spider-Man fan. I know there are people out there that are, and they're still across social media, some outlets that are like, well, like, miss the boat on this, miss the boat on that, miss the boat on this. Listen, this is like with Solo.
Yeah.
It is meant to be a summertime, sit down, enjoy, go into the Spider-Verse and have some fun with it and fill in the MCU. That is its goal.
And judging from it, they are going to make Spider-Man the forefront of the MCU.
Yes. Thank you.
And
Yes.
I'm 100% happy about that because it's only the logical move for it.
Now with Iron Man out of the picture. Yeah.
Well, if you, for those who did see the movie, according to Edith, it doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Even dead, I'm the hero.
My goodness. Yeah, so maybe San Diego Comic-Con will have something surrounding at the MCU panel.
I do. I'll say 89% it's going to be Secret Invasion.
Really? That's a high percentage.
Just the way the second post-credit scene was.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Interesting. The one thing that I do want to see from the MCU panel is number one, I like the inclusion of Spider-Man more. I think he's a character that a lot of people can get around. And number one, what they've been able to do now with Into the Spider-Verse. I mean, being able to bring that now through animated form has now grabbed the next generation of MCU and Spider-Man fans.
Yeah.
So now what you're able to do is you're able to say, okay, hold on a second here. Let's hit both generations with something big when it comes to Spider-Man. They've got something planned. But like you said, they're going to announce something. The other thing, I mean, do we see other classic Marvel properties come back to the forefront again now that comic books are the hot thing and now that they've been able to move on with some of these stories?
Well, I know New Mutants is never coming out.
No, I know.
X-Men, I can see them maybe announcing something.
Maybe San Diego Comic-Con always produces something X-Men. Always something.
Or Fantastic Four.
Oh, now that's one that we've been kind of waiting on.
Yeah. But question is, would they recast Chris Evans as the Human Torch? So
Can they logically do that now?
I mean,
it's hard though. You go into and you see that it's like, wait, Captain America, what?
Exactly. Different universe.
Yes, different universe. It's okay. Falcon's got it now.
Yeah, I still wanted it to go to Bucky though.
You're a Bucky guy.
Well, that's how it originally went.
That's how it went.
Bucky got the shield first, and then Bucky passed it to Falcon.
That's right. That's right.
Which I'm to see what they do with the Falcon and Winter Soldier series that they're going to do.
Yeah, that's interesting.
I hope they announce something about it. Well, they better announce something about it because they made Sebastian Stan cancel Fan Expo.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. They got to do something in San Diego.
I wish the DCEU had a panel.
Thank you. I was just about to say, I feel like San Diego Comic-Con usually produces equally as much MCU as DC stuff. Usually.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
I don't know why they're sitting it out this year.
I don't know.
Yeah, the only other thing they have coming out this year, because Shazam was the beginning of this year, right? Or was it end of last year?
Yeah, I mean I'm waiting for something DC. I mean, obviously we got the
You're
covers,
just gonna
obviously.
ignore what I said?
No, I'm leaving that as a point. I'm leaving that as a point, man.
Okay,
Because it's important. It really is. And
because they just have Joker,
they do. They just have
and
Joker so
I'm
far.
still going to see it. Um, and I'm not one of those people that's mad that it's not adapting anything from the comics. I like that it's its own story because Joker's origin is never fully clear.
That's true. That's true.
And Joaquin Phoenix is going to kill it as Joker.
He's such a great actor to begin with.
Yeah,
So to put him in that role.
as long as he doesn't pull a Heath Ledger, which I don't think he's gonna, I think we'll be fine.
Yeah. I mean, play more
I'm
to
sorry
Jack
for all the
Nicholson.
people that are gonna get upset about the Heath
Right.
Ledger thing, but
He's got to play more to Jack Nicholson. I mean, just in terms of timeline, he
he's
has
gonna
to play more towards that.
he's gonna be a mix of Nicholson and Romero,
Oh, thank you. Yes, absolutely. You're right in that
and a
timeline.
little bit of Mark Hamill, because the laugh kind of is a little bit like Hamill's Joker in a way, with
Sure.
the mix of Cesar Romero's.
Yeah. Yeah. And Romero's the one that always stands out to me the most. The
He
classic
had a
Joker.
he had a good laugh.
He did. He had a very good laugh.
He just didn't shave his mustache.
That was the one. That was the one be all end all in that case.
Yeah,
Yeah. That's true. That's true. Yeah, we'll see what happens with DC. We'll see
yeah.
what happens with MCU stuff. But the one thing I have to say, and listen, this is where I get picky. This is where I get picky when it comes to some of the stuff with Star Wars. And it's not a make the jump until I have said something like this. Um, I'm getting as a collector, I'm kind of going through my Funko Pops. I'm saying, okay, the process of moving out of the room that I'm in right now into a different room, going through my collectibles, and it's kind of like I was just following through with Funko more recently. I know you and I are big Funko collectors. Renee, your girlfriend, is a huge Funko collector as well.
Yep.
I'm getting a little sick and tired of these chrome Funkos from Star Wars.
Really?
I really am. Because every convention now is going to have one. And how many more Chrome Boba Fett's do I need to have?
Oh,
Because the
okay.
value, I'm going to say it, the value on the Funko price guide for these things, if you notice, like if you bought the Celebration ones at Star Wars Celebration, the value that they originally were priced at, I think was like $250 each. That was their worth value.
Mhm.
Give it months. Give it 2, 3, 4 months. Those bad boys are down to worth 140. They dropped $100 in
Yeah,
value because Funko decided to continue to do convention exclusives that were chromes.
yeah.
That's where it gets dangerous. And for me, as a Funko collector and as a Star Wars Funko collector, I'll take a bunch of Obi-Wan Clone Wars Funkos over one of those Boba Fett ones because it just means so much more to me as a fan. A Chrome Funko doesn't have any residual value to me in terms of my Star Wars fandom. Just give me another Ayla Sakura. Give me a Barra Safi and Luminara, like a 2-pack for the
Yeah,
prequels. I don't know. Give me a Geonosian ring. Give me all three. Give me Padme, Anakin, and Obi-Wan up on the pedestals hanging there. Like that would be cool.
that would be really cool.
Give me
Probably be
something
hard.
different.
It would definitely be hard for them to do, but I could see them doing it.
Yeah, like I know the one that you got me. Listen, I love it. It's the Boba Gets His Bounty movie moments,
Yeah,
the Smuggler's Bounty exclusive. That one is so intricate when you look at it.
yeah.
And I look at that one, and then I look at some of these other Funko, movie moments, TV moments that they've been coming out with Stranger Things and everything. They're becoming more and more intricate, and
Yeah.
that's where I say, let's start exploring it a little bit more. Let's do Han in carbonite, like actual Han being dropped into the carbonite with
Mhm.
Vader, and like multiple Funkos
Yeah.
built into it. Let's get creative. Let's move away from the chromes. But how do you feel about all that?
The chromes are cool. Like I have the Vader one from Celebration,
That
and
one's cool.
the
I will give you that.
I forget what color it is.
Is that red?
Um, yeah, the red one, and I think what other Chrome Vader do we have? Gold. We have the gold one.
Yeah.
That was the Celebration exclusive. Um, They're cool, but I like the regular ones. The only one that doesn't need color, that is fine. You won't see it on the audio version, but on the live stream version right now is a Stan Lee one.
That's a cool one. That's a real cool one.
Yeah. Any Stan Lee pop figure you can get is a cool one.
That is true. That is true. Yeah, I mean, I was really surprised that Funko didn't do. I don't, and I maybe correct me if I'm wrong. I didn't really see a Stan Lee exclusive for this San Diego Comic Con this year,
Nope.
and I think that's out of respect because they're going to be doing a lot of tributes to Stan Lee
Yeah,
probably
they're
this
definitely.
year.
There wouldn't be a Comic Con without Stan Lee.
I mean, at the Jay and Silent Bob at their panel, they're definitely going to be having a big tribute to
Kevin
him there.
Smith is going to start crying the minute he starts talking about Stan Lee.
I can already see, and I'm going to swear here, and this will be in post edit, all right? But I can already see them showing the Stan Lee clip at the very end about his cameo, and
Yeah.
Kevin Smith it's gonna stop. Lights are gonna come on with everybody in the room, and he's gonna look at the people in the back, and he's gonna be like, "Why the fuck did you do that to me?"
Yep.
It's gonna be
That
great.
is he in Hall H for his
I believe
panel
I
or
think they gave him a Hall H because of the hype built around this.
oh it's have you seen
Palpable.
the people that are going to be in it like actor wise?
He's got some pretty decent people.
The one that surprised me was Chris Hemsworth.
Listen, Kevin Smith can get whoever he wants at this point.
True. The best thing right now, Kevin Smith wise, besides Giant Silent Bob reboot, is the fact that he's re posting the Hollywood Babylons on YouTube, but with a video version of it.
Yeah. I saw that.
And every Monday, whenever they're posted, it's always something I watch, and I force Renee to watch because she has no choice.
No choice whatsoever.
Nope.
Oh my
Also,
goodness.
when you bleep it out, your swear, can you have Jay say Snoochie Boochies?
I didn't even think about that. That's perfect. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. That's exactly what I'm gonna do. Awesome. Snoochie Boochies. All right.
So
All right.
this isn't Comic Con related, and if you want to cut it out, go right ahead.
No.
What What do you think of all the people wanting to raid Area 51?
Okay. This will be our last discussion point here. This is a perfect one. This is perfect. All right. Can I do Snoochie Boochie again on this one as well?
Yes,
Okay,
of course.
ready? Every individual who is even thinking, and I'm saying this as a future politician possibly here, okay? Anybody who's even thinking about this is a fucking idiot.
Yep.
Because number one, I think it makes a great meme. Number one,
Yes.
it's probably one of the best meme stretches that we've had in quite some time. All right.
It has.
But the one thing that really has upsetted me across all this is I've only seen one or two memes actually use the film Mars Attacks. And that is upsetting because Jack Nicholson president is just like what we have right now in office.
Are you sure you're gonna want to leave this in?
Because let me say this.
Okay.
He thought that, and correct me if I'm wrong, in the movie Mars Attacks, all right?
Yeah.
Jack Nicholson as president talks about having a space force at some point. What has our president talked about? He's talked about that, right? So it's kind of funny that we have this correlation here, but nobody will use the movie as a meme. And listen, it's a wonderful, wonderful meme. But if you think for 1 second that I think that you're gonna run in there, run out with baby carriages with baby aliens inside of it, and think you're not gonna get shot down by an F-51 air fighter, you're nuts. You're nuts.
Yeah. I will watch the live stream of someone who does it. September 20th, we're either going to see a lot of people die, or they're just going to bring out Thanos and just
It's a day after my birthday, so everybody might as well pass out at that point.
Wow. You should come down for your birthday.
So we're gonna we should find a restaurant in
I
Massachusetts
swear
called
I swear
Area
to God.
15 or something and be like, oh, wrong one.
Swear to God. You come down on my birthday, but you missed my birthday. I'm gonna be a little mad. I'm kidding. I'm just with you.
So I'm gonna leave this just like an episode of Top Gear. And on that note, no, I'm just kidding.
One serious note I do kind of want to
Yes,
talk about.
absolutely.
I'm not gonna go fully into detail, but I'm just gonna say this. In light of what happened Sunday or over the weekend, I don't know if you saw the girl that was kind of famous on Instagram and stuff, and what happened to her. But
Oh no.
be careful who you interact with on the internet.
Right.
Um, I don't know the full story or how it goes, but she was talking to this guy on Discord and he wanted more of a relationship. She
Ugh.
didn't. And I don't know how Discord works or with and stuff like that, but he pretty much found out her location
Ugh.
and he posted everything on Instagram and traveling to her location and the aftermath. I would assume you might know what the aftermath might be.
Yes, absolutely. I saw the headlines after
Um,
the investigation went through.
I you didn't see the picture, right?
No, I saw no pictures. I did not even want to push myself to that.
Consider yourself lucky because I was only looking for more information on it.
And you ran into pictures.
Yeah, and it messed me up
People
for
have to be careful,
the
man.
day.
It's a dangerous place out there, and you got to watch, especially if you're under the age of 18. And I'm saying even if you're 35 or 40, it doesn't matter if you're male, female, doesn't matter what your sex is. There are people out there who are dangerous to society
Yeah,
because they feel they want to take advantage of any person they can because to be honest with you, sometimes those individuals are missing something or they feel that they have to reign over something.
yeah,
And I agree with you, Andrew, 100%. If that's the pathway you're going with this, is you got to be careful on these
yeah,
online social media sites and
yeah.
on Discord and whatever else, because you don't. If you give the wrong information, so it's possible the wrong person could find you.
Exactly. Her name was Bianca Devins. Didn't want to seem uh, insensitive, not mentioning her name or
Sure,
something
of
like
course.
that. But yeah, just be careful who you interact with, um, and everything like that. And it is something tragic that shouldn't have happened, and there has to be something that everyone can do to try and prevent something like that happening again.
Yeah.
The thing that bothered me is everyone that was reporting the image on Instagram. I am calling you out, Instagram, because it was disgusting. You would not remove the pictures. They would report it for violence and everything like that. And you viewed said picture and you said um it
Oh, it didn't
didn't
meet
meet.
the restricted requirements of a
Yeah,
of a of a flagged picture. Yeah.
yeah. So they left the pictures up on Instagram.
Man, I mean that's the world that we've come to is that we want to have the freedoms of social media. We want to. But there's also a fine line of okay, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. Do what's right for society.
Yeah,
Do what's right for the individuals who are affected by this. Do what's right for the family. Don't do what's right for your image, for your wanting to be the first to be in the headlines, and you're first to be the one who reports it out to
exactly.
everybody else. Don't that's not worth it. And I think that that's that fine line in politics, I will say, between policies that we have as a government and policies that we have as human beings and the rights that we have. And I agree with you 100%. I mean, the Brick City blockade, our hearts all go out to the family of Bianca
Yeah,
and her entire family. And incidents like this will not be handled lightly. We at podcast networks, people who are involved in social media and with streaming media, will not take any more of it. And
Nope.
we will make sure to continue to push forward the agenda of this is not okay, and that individuals who seek this out will be met with swift justice.
Yep. Because he is in custody, or well, he was charged with. I don't know how it is second-degree murder when
Sure,
he clearly it was premeditated. So I don't
sure.
know how that works. But one last thing on this topic, then we can wrap up. Those who are looking for internet clout or whatever, saying you have the picture and trying to get people to get the picture, you guys are pieces of shit. And go fuck yourself. And you can put Gucci Gucci's in there
I
too.
listen. I'm willing to remove our clean setting on social media on iTunes to keep that common. I really am. Because listen, I'm gonna say it here first. I'm gonna say it right now here and make the jump. We've wanted to keep things clean here at the podcast network for a long time, and I've given this a lot of thought. And we are always focused on keeping things clean. But listen, we live in a world today where society throws a lot of different things at us. You see that here at the end of this episode, and sometimes the message is best in its original form than being cleaned up. To be 100% honest. And Brick City Blockade will always continue to make sure that our voices are clean and that we always project the proper message. But listen, you may see that clean rating on iTunes go away very soon because there's no reason to hold back anymore. There really isn't. We live in a world today where things you just don't know which way they're going to go. And sometimes the best and honest opinion is one that's unfiltered. And people learn the best from that motive.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's about time that we move into that generation as well. That we do say enough is enough. And we say at the podcast network that, you know what, just because it's not said in Star Wars, you know what, we're outside of that universe. We're the people reporting and trying to share these resources with everybody else. So that's my final thought on that, is that, you know, we'll do our best, but expect on iTunes very, very soon that we're going to move into the reality of, if we have something to say, you better damn well understand that we're going to say it.
Yeah.
So, and on that note,
Yeah.
here on Brick City Blockade, we've come to that time
You
of the
keep
show.
hitting your microphone.
I know. I keep hitting. I'm getting excited now. I'm
So
getting super excited. But anyway,
you're talking to me. I get it.
it is. It's because I'm talking to Andrew here. We've come to that time of the show here on the podcast. It's a little thing we like to call, Andrew, what is it called?
Plug time.
Yeah, plug time. Andrew, where can everybody find out everything about your YouTube channel, everything that you're doing here at Brick City Blockade? What are the links, and where can they find you across social
You
media?
can find me here on YouTube at Command Nerd. I will be posting a new video tomorrow. Not revealing what it is yet.
Good.
Twitter, getting somewhat better at, is Gerrish1. Instagram is Andrew62592. And of course, Facebook, Andrew Burton Gerrish, where I do Words with Wills. It'll be resurrected again soon.
Yes.
It'll get resurrected more towards September when we're getting more stuff for Rise of Skywalker and stuff like that. So it's going to be on a little hiatus for another while, but around September it'll be back up and everything like that.
Yeah. I just want to say,
where can they find you?
I really just want to say thank you to all of you out there who have been very patient with the podcast network, with all the changes and all the moves that we've been making. The podcast network is back and stronger than ever with some new looks, some new sounds, and preparing you for the rise of Skywalker once again. We really appreciate all your support. All of our patrons out there that have continued to support the podcast network, people over on Twitter who consistently tweet out. I mean, I got a great message from Regina Lynette the other day, our good friend just outside of Chicago, who always rocks her Brick City Blockade shirt all the time. And she said, we are here for when you guys are ready. So big shout out to Regina. We love hearing everything that you have to share in in the Star Wars universe and in your life, and to Dave Hackerson, and to even the folks down in Lancaster, Rebel Cause Lancaster. There are so many great individuals out there that we support, and individuals that we like to associate ourselves with. And so thank you to all of them for being very patient. You guys can follow me over on Twitter at Mr. Vote Tweets. Check me out over on Instagram at The Official Vote. Hey, www.brickcityblockade.com. Much more stuff happening over on the website coming up here. Over on Instagram, we're going to be having some more fan polls. We're going to be doing some of that stuff to get you back involved in the Star Wars conversation. Patreon to support the network. TeePublic to rock the network. Andrew, some brand new designs that I've been working on are going to be uploading themselves up
About
to that
time.
page. It's about time. I know it's been very quiet. So with the Rise of Skywalker coming up, we're going to be starting to see some new stuff up there very soon. And also, hey, make sure to support Starlight Children's Foundation, a galaxy of joy between Brick City Blockade and our good friends over at Starlight Children's Foundation, bringing smiles to kids' faces in hospitals around the country, every cent at a time. Andrew, thanks so much for coming on Make the Jump, my friend. We'll be talking to you
More than
really
happy
soon.
to.
And as we always say here at the podcast network, it's not an episode until we say it. Hey, folks, hey, the
Snoochie
force.
boochies.
What's the juicy? What
Snoochie
was
boochies.
that? May the force
May
be
the
with
force be
you
with you always.
always.